Mr. Spears, do you got any questions for me, maybe closer to where I'm from?
Yeah, JK, Jonathan Kuminga,
Right.
like what's going to happen with him? Ramon and I have been talking about it. There seems to be optimism in the Warriors camp that he will re-sign. He will be a restricted free agent. This market's not great for him. As one NBA GM told me, is like, what has he proven to be worth what his agent wants, which is $25+ million. Who has that money for him? Why does he deserve that? But then on the flip side, if he returns to the Warriors, like, what's his role?
And can he reach his full potential there?
Yeah, and so if I'm Jonathan, I'm in a really weird spot right now. The money's not here this summer. Maybe it's next summer. But either way, there's a lot of question marks.
Well, look, I think the Warriors want him back. The question is, does he want to be back?
Yeah.
I know there are teams that like Jonathan Kuminga. They just don't have cap space. So it has to be a sign and trade. And from what I understand, the Warriors are not going to give him up not assets that they don't like in return. They want to keep him unless they get something great back for him. So he can go and negotiate a deal with another team.
Right.
Chicago likes him. Miami likes him. You know, let's
Sacramento.
Sacramento. Let's see if the Phoenix Suns. They liked him a lot. They had him in the original construction for Kevin Durant back in February.
Sure.
But
I like nice cars.
But do they have players that the Warriors would want to take back in a sign and trade?
Right.
And from my understanding, the Warriors they don't like anything right now that's being discussed.
When you look at the Golden State Warriors, and I think about their run against the Minnesota Timberwolves, Jonathan Kuminga showed what he can be in those final couple of games without Steph Curry. It's about whether or not he's going to be able to reach that full potential here. We just got some news in from our senior insider, Shams Charania, as we've been talking here. Kevon Looney, as we're talking about the Golden State Warriors, he's agreed to a 2-year, $16 million deal with the New Orleans Pelicans.
Wow.
Again,
end of an era.
Is reporting. So that's really an end of an era, as you mentioned
man.
here.
Sad people in the Bay right now.
He's been such a key piece of this team of many championships as well in the Bay.
As odd as it might sound, he may get his jersey retired one day.
Yeah, he could.
He's kind of the hard hat guy for the Warriors, done everything they asked him to do. He was a guy in the locker room. You know where he's going to hurt the most? He's been the biggest mentor.
Yeah.
Like, people think about Steph, and they think about Draymond as a mentor. Nobody's been a bigger mentor for the young guys in that roster than
Well, I think they're also looking for another center, and they're in the discussions with Al Horford, some other of the centers that are out there. And you know, if he's got an offer like this, he's got to take that money.
Yeah, but for 10 years with the Golden State Warriors, that was a heck of a run. So
great
again,
move by
Kevon
Joe
Looney.
Dumars for his young guys.
Yeah,
Kevon Looney on his way to the New Orleans Pelicans. While we're talking about the Golden State Warriors and you're asking the kinds of questions about what money they can afford to pay Jonathan Kuminga while still trying to maybe upgrade at center, that sounds like a job for Mr. Money Moves. Bobby Marks, make it work for us, please, sir.
Well, we're going to look at two things right now. We're going to look at the center market right now. This is a priority for Golden State, certainly the playoff loss against Minnesota. Here's a name to keep an eye on. Former Celtics, Al Horford, okay? That would certainly fill some of the need that Golden State needs at the center position. Everyone was talking about Jonathan Kuminga. We have him projected at a $20 million number right now. The problem with Jonathan Kuminga is there's no salary cap space out there. The trade, the Michael Porter Jr. Cam Johnson trade, has eliminated most of the Nets cap space to go out and do an offer sheet on Jonathan Kuminga. So he's basically in a waiting game. He can take a $7.9 million qualifying offer or a team-friendly deal. And I think that's going to be the key for the Warriors offseason. Certainly a signing trade potentially also. Brian had mentioned, I heard him over there when he was asking about Cam Johnson, that Cam Johnson Michael Porter Jr. trade. That unlocks the non-tax mid-level exception, $14.1 million for the Denver Nuggets to go out and use.
So we say hello to our reporter, Young Masuk, who spent a lot of time with Golden State last season. Do the Warriors believe, as we're talking about potentially someone like Al Horford, they are a piece away here from being able to maximize and go for one more championship with Steph Curry home?
With Kevon Looney gone now, all signs look like it points to Al Horford. League sources have been saying that it seems like the Warriors and Horford seem like the perfect fit and locked in. And when I would have discussions with Steve Kerr along the season, he would talk about how the Warriors can play two different ways now. They play their motion offense with Steph Curry, but with the addition of Jimmy Butler, they can go ISO Jimmy. And still, Al Horford would fit that perfectly because, one, they've already said they don't want to play Draymond Green at center the entire season. They just can't afford to do that. They could do it in spurts like in the playoff runs and how they made that run at the end of the season, but they need Al Horford. He can come in, he can stretch the floor to stretch five, he can pass in that motion offense, he can set screens for them, and defensively he still has something left in the tank, so he would be a good fit. After that, that's where it gets interesting, Malika, because I think they have to wait on Jonathan Kuminga to see if there's a sign and trade out there, perhaps with a Miami or with a Chicago, as Ramona mentioned. In those cases, though, what really is going to come in those packages? Is it Duncan Robinson? Is it Jaime Jaquez? It's going to have to be more than that. And on the Chicago end, would it be Nikola Vucevic, a guy that they were linked to last year before the trade deadline? But they would need more than Vucevic as well. That's why if they bring back Kuminga, then Steve Kerr has said, we're going to spend the early portion of the season trying to see if he can fit in with Steph, with Jimmy and Draymond, something that I think Golden State already knows is not really a great fit. And then after that, maybe they can trade him.
Or they can just chill and see what happens with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Because that is a big or. If I think the Warriors like their team. Are they going to beat the Thunder with this roster? Probably not. But I think they like their team. They can maybe make a move on the periphery. They have access to a lot of their future draft picks. It may be worth it for them to sit there and wait for the possibility of a big transaction. They sat there and they were patient last year. They ended up with Jimmy Butler. It's possible that they could get Kuminga into a contract that they could still intend to trade down the line, whether it's for a player like Giannis or somebody else.
And that would be the best thing that could happen to Jonathan Kuminga. I just think he's at a point. If he's still auditioning for the Golden State Warriors about fit and minutes and how, I'm sorry, that something's there that he needs a new set of eyes on him. And I think Jonathan Kuminga is a guy that gives them this athletic ability they desperately need. They don't have a lot of athletes on this roster. But it's obvious with what happened to him at the end of the year, 4 DNPs in the Houston series. Finally, they go to him when Curry gets hurt in the Minnesota series. The guy averages 24 points a game over those last 4 games on 56% from the field against the top shelf defense. So he let people know, this is kind of what I'm capable of, but I just think he's there, and there's a cynicism around him with the organization that's going to be difficult for him to break through.
I agree with you 1,000%. As a player, when you're in an organization, you want to feel wanted. You want to know that the organization wants you. They want you on the floor. They believe in you. That's a situation that's been kind of tricky for Jonathan Kuminga. But I look on the defensive end of that, and I say I love Al offensively. I know he'll come in. He'll pick up right where he needs to. He's a veteran. He has basketball intelligence. But on the defensive end, is he a rim protector? Is he going to be a guy that's going to get a stop down there, protect the rim, bang with those big guys? I look at that situation as almost similar to having Draymond down there. I love Al offensively, but defensively, I think you need a little more size down there to take that banging and protect the rim.
This has always been the question for the Golden State Warriors. Who is their big man has always been something, in addition to Draymond Green, that we have been sort of asking, even over their dynastic champ.
Danny Emmerman with San Francisco Standard here. What have these past few days been like for you personally, like from the draft to now?
It's been exciting. Obviously, kind of not sure where you're going one day, and then 3 days later you're getting ready to play games with them. So it's definitely exciting, and very thankful to be part of such a cool organization, and having Andrew Bogut around, he's told me a lot. So yeah, luck of the dice, but I feel like I got pretty lucky.
What are some things that Bogut has told you about the Warriors organization?
Yeah, well, first thing he said, he loved the city here, loved his time here, likes to get back here, and then just head to toe, the organization's committed to winning, and everything's trying to get better each year, and the way they play basketball is also very Australian, and I think he understands that, and when he played back in Sydney, he brought that kind of play style, so very exciting. I think it's going to be pretty easy to fit into that play style because that's how we like to play, but yeah, excited.
In what way is it Australian? Like, I've never heard that put it that way before.
I think the fact that we kind of pass the ball a bit more instead of like the ISO one-on-one stuff, so I think, yeah, Australians, a lot of the guys like Gideon Dyson coming in, it's very pass-first kind of play style, and sometimes that can go the other way and kind of got to be a bit more aggressive. But I think just looking at flying your teammates more and enjoying your teammates' success is a big part of Australian basketball, and then just being tough, being versatile, and being smart basketball players.
Hey, Alex, Dalton Johnson, NBC Sports Bay Area. To kind of keep that going, what's your relationship maybe with Taron Armstrong, and just what do you maybe know about his game as well?
Yeah, obviously competed with Taron this year and knew him before that. So, first of all, cool to see him get that two-way at the end of the year. That was definitely exciting. And then doing workouts here and seeing him around and like seeing how his body's changed and seeing how he's talked about how his shots improved, how he's just an all-round better basketball player. It's definitely cool to see that kind of progression as a player and a person. So excited to get into that side, but just be around Australians. I think it's always nice to have people from where you're from. So excited for that, and he's said nothing but great things.
How would you describe just the pre-draft process, going through the combine, all of that? And did you have an idea that the Warriors, their interest was this high in you?
I did a few workouts, and this is probably one of my worst ones. So when I got the call, I kind of felt like apologizing and saying, like, I'm sorry about the workout, but thanks for doing your job earlier and researching and stuff. But yeah, it was exciting, and coming from Australia, it's just cool to be in different cities and meet new people and get some free gear as well. It was pretty cool. So yeah, enjoyed the process, and yeah, I'm happy to be here.
How was the draft workout bad? I mean, you said it was one of your worst workouts. What went wrong?
I didn't shoot it very well, and then yeah, I probably just didn't play my best. But I mean, that's how it goes. You know, have good games, bad games. So yeah, I had a few more after that, but yeah, I was excited to get the call and definitely thankful.
I saw you were at the Valkyries game last night. I was wondering, did you get to meet Steph, or did you already meet Steph, or Pods, or kind of what was that night like?
Yeah, it was incredible. First of all, the atmosphere was unbelievable, and kind of nothing I've ever been like before. So that was cool. And then sat next to Brandon, and that was super cool. He's such a great guy, and had some good conversations, and loves the city and loves the team, and spoke about his process and how he got to where he is. And then saw Steph on the big screen, which was pretty cool. But I'm sure I'll meet him in the next few days.
Alex, Sam Gordon, San Francisco Chronicle. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the Bay. What was the actual draft night? Like, were you back in Australia for that? And who were you watching with? How did that whole thing go?
So I was training in LA
okay.
for the last few months with some other draft guys, and kind of went to our agent's house and chucked the TV on, and me and Lockie Ulbrich, the other Australian that was in the agency, just sat and watched as a group, and it was exciting, a lot of nerves, but I feel like we both got some good situations out of it.
And then Mike told us the other day, Mike Dunleavy mentioned that he had sent some scouts over to watch you play during the season. Do you remember that when Warriors scouts were there? Did they meet you at all? Like, when did you kind of first sense that the Warriors in particular were interested?
I think the scouts obviously do their job from early on, and I'm sure there's probably games and when I was much younger where I can't remember they were watching, or probably didn't even see them. But I think the Blitz, there were definitely a few scouts there and played well. So knew there was going to be some interest, but I think just kind of looking at how I play and how different NBA teams play, I think it's probably one of the best fits possible. So I was excited, and yeah, when I got that call, it definitely made my day.
And then to kind of follow on what you just said from a fit standpoint, what do you like about the way your skill set fits with how the Warriors play?
Yeah, I think it's being versatile. I think being able to play in big lineups, play in small lineups, and be able to set screens, play out the short roll, make shots, make actions, and yeah, find my teammates. So just excited.
Thank you.
Hey, Alex. Chris Alvarez from ABC here in San Francisco. Obviously, you said your workout wasn't great, but how was the interview process that day? It must have gone well, right?
Yeah, I felt like I had a pretty good interview, and it's obviously pretty stressful, but after you do a few, it's just another conversation, and they don't want to make it too serious. They want to just hear what you're like and kind of get a sense of your personality. So felt like I was pretty comfortable being myself around them, and they all seem like great guys, and I'm just glad that they believed in me. So excited.
Across the board, maybe not with the Warriors, but when guys go through draft process, sometimes they get asked these really oddball questions. In the draft process, what was the oddest question you were asked that kind of threw you for a loop?
Ooh, I got asked like what my teammates would say about me, and that's a pretty interesting one because obviously you got great relationships with your teammates, but like the Australian sense is like there's a bit of banter and like some things that we find funny, other people don't really find too funny. So I think I just had to kind of dull it down to just saying I'm a pretty funny teammate and someone that tries to make a joke now and then.
To kind of follow up on that, when you think about the fact that now you're a part of the Golden State Warriors, any players after 20 or so minutes of being drafted that you say, I want to ask them this, I want to pick this person's brain, I want to get to know this person as soon as I meet them because I need to understand this about the franchise? If so, who are those players?
I think the first ones that come to mind are obviously Steph and Draymond. They've been here for ages, and then I think Andrew Bogut as well, someone that was a part of those championships and kind of has that Australian glimpse and kind of how he sees things. So speaking to those guys, and then definitely excited to speak to Draymond about his journey, and obviously he was a second round pick, but how he just found a way to influence the game, and he does so many things well, and obviously he's an elite defender, and I think that's kind of someone I can definitely look up to and learn a bunch of things from.
Do you see yourself as more of a 3 or a 4?
I think in the NBA today, they're pretty similar. I think either position I play, I think if I play the 3, I had that kind of being able to set screens, pick and pop, pick and roll, had that sense, and then playing at the 4, being able to take guys off the dribble and having that advantage and having a good handle on me. So I think a combination, I think it's just going to be every night you're going to be asked to do something different, so being able to fill both.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Will. What's just the last few days been like for you, just coming in here, and what has that been like?
It's been a surreal feeling. I mean, it's a blessing to be able to join this organization and be a part of it. So just spending time with the family, celebrating, and just getting ready for this next step.
And what's your first impression of the Warriors been, just as an organization?
It's been great. I mean, I've been watching them since I was a little kid, so it's definitely a blessing to be able to join them and be on the team. So just happy to be here.
Did you have a favorite player as a kid?
I did, Stephen Curry. I did.
How surreal is it to know that you're going to be on the same team as him?
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm definitely going to be watching him a lot, asking a lot of questions, try to learn as much as possible.
How you doing, Will? Sam Gordon, San Francisco Chronicle. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the Bay. You came in for a workout, correct?
Mm-hmm, I did.
What was that process like, getting to meet folks around here, and what was draft day like for you? Where did you watch the draft? Did you expect to get drafted? How did that all come together?
Yeah. The pre-draft workout was great. I mean, everybody in the organization was very welcoming. It was fun. I mean, being able to come out here and work out for the team. So it was fun. And then draft day, I went back home to Atlanta. Kept it tight, had just immediate family, some friends over. We were watching at the house, and we kind of knew the second round was where where my night was going to start. So definitely just watching. But when we heard that Golden State was a team, I was very excited and was ready to get down here.
Yeah, and just how do you feel like your game, fits, knowing the way the Warriors play, knowing the skills that you bring to the table?
Yeah, I think it fits perfectly. I mean, I'm a guy that can do a little bit of everything to help the team win. So whether that's spacing the floor, just guarding at a high level, rebounding, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help us win.
Any trash talk with LJ? From national championship game?
I kept it cool. I mean, he's a great player. I respect his game, so it's good to be on the same team with him.
Awesome. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Will. Dalton Johnson, NBC Sports Bay Area. Just what are you looking forward to the most with Summer League and just kind of seeing your game continue to grow?
Yeah, just going out there, enjoying the game, having fun with it, and just improving, showing that I've improved my shot, improved my game as a complete player. So just going out there and competing at a high level and trying to win.
Well, what part of your game do you think maybe needs the most growth, and what do you think can be your foundation from day one maybe?
Yeah, I think coming into the league, I'll say just stretching the floor, knocking down catch and shoot threes, spacing the floor, finishing at a high level, and just guarding. But I'll say what probably needs to improve is definitely playmaking. But I think that'll come as long as I keep growing and just with experience.
Obviously, Sam brought up the national championship game, but in that game, obviously, you had a great game, 18 points, the 8 rebounds, 4 threes. What do you think that those big-time games that you were involved with at Florida, how did that prepare you for the next level for a franchise like the Warriors?
Yeah, I feel like it just shows that I'm ready to play at the highest stage, and playing in a game like that and just coming out and competing at a high level and helping my team win, I feel like that shows who I am as a player, and I feel like I'm ready to do that at the next level as well.
RC Davis, Warriors Radio. I always like to ask guys this. Now that you've made the NBA, when did you know that it was more than a dream? When did you know that it was an achievable goal?
I'll probably say I started really noticing probably like my freshman year of college, like it was right there. I had a chance. So, but just knowing that I had a lot more work to do, and I still have that same mindset. It's still a lot more work to do. So just staying humble, not getting content, and just putting in the work to get to where I want to be.
Hi, Will. Chris Alvarez from ABC 7 here in San Francisco. You obviously played here at Chase Center too. So was it fun to be back? What are your fond memories of that weekend here at Chase in March Madness?
Yeah, it's definitely great to be back. I mean, I was 2-0 when I came here, so definitely got a history of winning. So I'm excited to be back.
A couple fun ones for you. If you weren't a basketball player, you'd be doing what?
I feel like I'd be in NBA front office somewhere or a hibachi chef.
That's a big difference.
Yep.
Let's go on the hibachi chef. Like, what interests you about that?
I've always been like intrigued with like the little tricks and the fire and stuff. Like that's always caught my attention, so I'd say that.
What was your best summer vacation as a kid?
Me and my family used to go to Myrtle Beach a lot as a fam. That was like something we did every year, so I'll say that.
Aaron Wilson, Crom for San Francisco. Just interested to know, if you've kind of kept up with the Warriors and how they use their draft picks. A lot of them get some valuable minutes, even in playoff games. Have you looked at that? And when you see that, do you think about, that could be me this coming season?
For sure, yeah. I definitely looked at that, and it's definitely a blessing to be a part of an organization that does use their draft picks in that way. So I'm excited, but I know I just got to put in the work, and when the opportunity presents itself, I'll be ready.
The Warriors run a pretty distinct offensive system.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see yourself fitting in that once your number's cold?
Yeah, I see myself fitting in perfectly. They run a great system, a lot of movement, a lot of threes, good cuts and stuff like that. And I feel like it definitely helps that I came from a system that ran something similar to that. We're always moving, definitely using IQ and stuff to get the best shot available. So I feel like I'll fit in very well.
You guys have any more? Monty, can you hear online there? Can you ask questions if you want to?
I can hear, but no questions.
All right, good stuff. All right, man, a few.